My perspective has changed through the years because now I feel cheated when I see a piece of art. I want it. I don't want to look at a piece of art and it just be there. I want it to do something. I want it to speak to me. I want it to actually do something. I remember one time when I was working the stone. You have to wear goggles and a mask and earplugs and a scarf and gloves and a coat and you're kind of in a cocoon. And I was working on this big piece of granite and for about 25-30 minutes and the machine had gotten so hot and I couldn't hold my arms up anymore, so I stopped and the dust settled. And I realized that there were 25 people around me, like right next to me, and I was oblivious to all of them the whole time I was working on this piece. And so I think that's when I first realized that there was a connection between me and this struggle with this stone. My work, a lot of times, has hidden meanings that I don't even know about. I learn more about the work from other people. I try not to give people too much information on the pieces and let them come up with their own solutions on what they envision that it is. So I'm not really, you won't see a lot of writing about the work. It's more about experience and work and them coming up with something. I think when you tell them what it is, I think it takes the mystery out of it, and I need art to speak to me. I don't want it to be read to me. We actually made some actual periscope windows that you could look through and see just sections of the show, kind of and down the hall. So you would be teased on the show and not see the whole thing through this like this zoo window, and then when you finally got to the door, you were able to look in and see people moving pieces and playing with pieces and rocking and making music, and so it was like you couldn't stay away from going into that space. At the same time, we had video running on in the background where musicians were actually playing a concert on the granite, and then you could play along with the pieces that were there with the pre-recorded video. So it was everything was hands-on. We had a 10-foot tall, 8-foot diameter prayer wheel in the middle of the exhibition that the viewers could turn. I can't turn it, but together they could turn it if they were wanting the same thing, if they wanted to turn the same direction. And so we had kind of hidden meaning in the show, but it was truly a hands-on exhibition. And I would sit there on this beautiful meadow and just carve the place. The ground is clay, and so I dug my hands in the ground, and then when I pulled up, I made a mound. And so then I wanted to climb up on this mound. So I made the terraces going up, and then I wanted to go in these holes that I created, and I made the terraces going down. And so I actually just displaced the earth that was there and created one of my largest pieces, which is a Houston police officer's memorial, which is a ziggurat, a stepped pyramid. And everybody says, well, it's like the temples, the first ones in Egypt and in Mexico. But the unusual thing about it is all pyramids in the world sit on top of the ground. This one is actually growing out of the ground, and in doing these holes, when you look down from the sky, it's actually a shape of a cross, and also you're rising to the top, and it's a maze of stairs. You can't go straight up. So it's kind of like life, and you have to find your way. And at the top was a fountain and a reflection of the officers' names who have died, and so the whole thing was not the idea of making a step pyramid and not making a cross or making a maze or it was the process of actually carving the ground and not bringing anything to that place, but just displacing the earth because it was already a great place. And so actually dealing with the space, dealing with the ground, dealing with the stone, you don't need anything else. I decided early on that I felt that one of the ways and would be that I could make a difference through art, and I really believe that, and how to do that, and that's there are a few ways to do that without doing shock value or something that's doesn't last.